Hello, everyone. I'm Dennis.
I'm Andrew.
We are known as the Crafty Lumberjacks. Happy holidays. It's the most wonderful time of the year. We're so excited to get crafty with you all today. You know, Halloween was a blur, but now we are so ready for the holidays. Today, we're going to be making this adorable shaker card. So special shout out to Michaels and Fiskars for having us and the 12 days of card making.
Yes, and let us know, did you say let us know where you're coming from?
No.
Well, let us know where you're coming from, and if you have been doing other classes with the 12 days, because I'm curious if this is something you're kind of doing and you're trying to pick out the best ones, which is something I would totally do. But we're really excited about this because I feel like a handmade card, especially these days, is so meaningful. So even if you can't get someone a gift, I think just something handmade is so special. I like to keep all the cards that people give us. You know, we have stacks and stacks of them, and sometimes we'll look back and, you know, especially it means a lot. So
yes, and maybe this year we'll finally send out Christmas cards.
I know it's one of those things that is always on the list.
A lot of people. I'm joining on the chat today, so if you ever have any questions or you want to talk to me or have questions, we have people from the Michaels team, people from the Fiskars team, and myself reading. We have Portland, Oregon, Beantown, South Carolina, first class. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. In today's class, we're also doing an epic giveaway with Fiskars. It's only open for the people joining the class today. We are going to ask a trivia question at the end of our hour here, and then we ask you to send in your answers via email. You can reach us at craftylumberjacks@gmail.com, or you can follow us on social media with the handle at craftylumberjacks across all the things. So Instagram, TikTok, you know, Facebook, wherever you do it.
Yeah.
Long Island in the house. I'm originally from Long Island. We're here in Queens, New York. It is a chilly 73 degrees out today.
It feels like August right now, but it's not, you know, we're still feeling festive. Okay.
We got Cali, we got New York, Bayshore, right. Woodbridge, Virginia, Reading, Pennsylvania, Salem,
nice.
Oregon,
right.
Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, hello. All right, so do we want to dive in? Any other things we need to talk about?
I think we have enough time. We can talk through the whole thing. If you've been to our class, you know we like to talk as we go. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We love, you know, answering questions. And actually, if you are crafting along with us today, let us know in the chat just so we know, so we can go at a little bit of a slower pace. Okay.
Michelle, Memphis, Tennessee, second class this year. Well, welcome. I always say if it's free, it's for me.
Yes.
So, and it gives you something to do and get creative. So please join us. We have another class coming up in December where we're going to be making this adorable snowman gift box. He's so cute.
He is really, really cute.
We use the Fiskars box maker to make our boxes here. We stacked it up, all made with
just cardstock.
Yeah.
So the box maker is a really, really cool tool that really you can make boxes out of paper. You can make different size boxes. So we're going to be doing that December 6th. And I know you said it was an epic giveaway, but it's an epic giveaway because we are giving out 5 different prizes
today during today's class. Yes.
But we'll talk about that at the end of the class.
Let's start crafting already.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to be starting with a blank piece of cardstock here. Of course, you can choose any color that you'd like. And my trick and tip here is that basically a cardstock sheet, which is this like a computer-sized paper, it's basically the same size of any of these card packs that you're going to get from Michaels. So what it is just half a piece of paper is the same size as any of those cards in the card pack. So if you want to start, if you're using a full piece of paper, I want to start by cutting it in half to create the base of my card.
Yes, and actually we can switch to the top down just so we can kind of see. I'm going to be the camera person. Oh, great, thank you.
Now I'm using my little Fiskars cutter here. It's one of my favorite things to use because it is really easy to use. It cuts really straight. And it has measurement right on the cutter here. So, you know, you don't gotta do any math or mark anything. You can just use your cutter. There we go. So now I have 2 cards essentially. When we're making cards or scrapbooking or anything, we like to use our bone folder.
It's right here.
Thank you. just because you get a really nice crease and fold, and you know we're going to be making tons of snowflakes this holiday season. So I love to use this just to kind of flatten everything down.
Oh my gosh, a bone folder for snowflakes is a game changer.
And the best part about it is that nowadays it's not made from real bone.
Well, yes,
it is.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, it's actually plastic, but it works really well. And it also helps if you're sewing to get those edges when you turn out a pillow or something like that to really just pop it out.
It was like a multifunctional tool, you know?
Yes. So I'm just going to fold my card here. Just use my bone folder.
And it really just gives you such a nice crease. When you're making something handmade, it's those teeny little details that really does make the difference. You can actually even see it on camera, how nice that crease is. So I do think a bone folder is also a really great holiday gift for a crafter, because a lot of people, they actually might not have it, and it's really inexpensive too.
Yeah, so to make our card here, essentially what we're going to be doing is adding another piece of paper here, because we want to build up our card so that we can have our confetti and our snow in it shaking. That's kind of part of the fun of the holidays here. So we actually have already pre-cut another piece that's going to go on top of the card, just like so. And now you can either make this, any size that you want, of course. I like to have it that it has a little border around the edge, just because I think it gives it more dimension, more life.
It really does kind of just make the whole thing pop, and it gives it, yeah, like you said, like a nice border, which just even accents the whole card even more. I feel like layers upon layers in crafting is always a good idea.
Yes. So now we're going to cut out our hole on the top piece of the card here for our snow globe. I think you probably already know, we're making a little snow globe shaker card. And because we live in Queens and we think Christmas is the most magical time of the year to be in New York City, we're making a season's greetings card from NYC. We got Kevin McAllister down there, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
But what's really great about this card is you can really cater it to a city that you love and a city that's like near and dear to your heart.
Yes, and of course, all the tools that we're using today are from Fiskars, and you can find them at your local Michael's. They have a whole bunch of different Fiskars sections. So this is one of them. And of course, you can always order online. Now they make it so easy. You can order, and then usually 4 hours later, your stuff is there ready to be picked up.
So nice.
So I'm going to actually we are big fans of using what we have around our apartment here to make it work. Designers, make it work. That's my Tim Gunn.
He get class without you.
Yeah, without my Tim Gunn impersonation. Yeah, I'm just going to use a lid. I think this was from a candle to make my snow globe here. I'm not even going to like center it. I'm just going to eyeball it. I do want it closer to the top of the card here, so that we have room for our base.
Yes, which is the little teal part. Yeah, just so it looks more centered when you add the base.
Yeah, so does that look good?
I think you could go a little
about an inch or so on the top of the card. So it's not really in the center. It's a little off from the center, a little higher than the center there. And I'm just going to trace it.
Now, as a crafter, I feel like cutting out circles, drawing circles is always a bit of a challenge. This is definitely a nice old school way to do it. And I just feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know?
Yes, and I'm going to be using the Renew scissors from Fiskars. They have the smaller one, the micro tip here, or they have the larger size. And the coolest thing about these scissors is the entire thing is made out of recyclable material.
Recycled material.
What'd I say?
Recyclable. Which I guess they are recyclable, but they've been recycled. So all of this has been recycled.
Yeah, so really cool. So, Fiskars, they usually have their, orange handle signature. They did not for this because they didn't want to use any dyes or anything like that. So this is all reused materials. I think it's so cool.
I love this too for a crafter. I just feel like it's a different spin on the Fiskars scissors. They work just as well, but the coloring is so nice. So I feel like it fits in with a lot of different people's themes.
Yes, and if you hang around for the end of the class, this is actually part of the giveaway. We have a huge bundle for the giveaway today. We're giving away 5 of them, a massive bundle, so you're going to want to enter. And now to cut out the hole here, I'm going to go old school. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to poke a hole in the center. Just like that. So do your best to not bend or kind of disrupt the paper there. And then I'm just going to cut it. Old school.
Yeah, just go from the center and then start to go to your line and do the best you can. I mean, there's so much going on with this card. When we made it the first time, I was like, oh, the circle isn't perfect, but there really is so much going on with it. You really don't notice it. And I really appreciate those handmade touches. I think when there are imperfections, it really does just make the whole look even just more, I don't want to say handmade, but in a way, yeah, I just like that look. And Dennis is turning the paper. This is
this is the tip we always get. Rather than
say,
trying to like
turn the scissors,
turn the paper.
Turn the paper.
I know it seems like such an easy little task, but it really just, oh, I made this bad here.
Oh,
but that's okay.
It's going to be covered
And
up.
I should have done my circle on the other part so you didn't see the pen.
You know, you learn.
I mean, Alanis told me that. You live, you learn. We have started to listen to Christmas music. We haven't started any of our Christmas shows yet.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Okay, not too bad. It's a little rough,
We'll
of course,
say,
anytime you're doing anything live on camera,
you know,
which we do a lot.
You know, I was going to say, you know, the problem with, we don't have any kids. And the problem is in these moments, we can't say, oh, our kids made it.
We can say the cat did it. So is that all right? Maybe
yes,
another one.
No, I will trim it up. I think that looks great. No, that looks great.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
What is the weight of the papers? It's regular cardstock paper.
Cardstock that you find. I'm just going to trim it up.
Sure. Go ahead. Andrew, the perfectionist here. I'm the one that's like, let's get it done. But Andrew's like, no, it has to be perfect.
You know, when you get two people, you get two, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where you're.
I don't know where I'm going.
Where you're trying to go with that, bro.
All right. Okay. Is anyone crafting with us?
Yes, I see Sarah was getting crafty. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Thank you for joining.
I think another good tip with the scissors.
Barbara's crafting. Wonderful. Nina, hello. Thank you.
When you're cutting, just opening and closing your scissors smoothly is a big tip to help you not really get any jagged lines.
Joanne is crafting. Hello, Joanne. Thank you for crafting along. And of course, you know, Michael's has a banging YouTube channel where they post all of these classes on their YouTube. So if you miss anything in today's class, you can always revisit the video. It's usually posted about 24 to 48 hours after the class. So if you want to revisit this, craft along with us, you may. We also have all the instructions written on our blog, craftylumberjacks.com, where if you ever want to look for tips or links or any other information or get inspired for other craft projects, you can check out our blog, craftylumberjacks.com.
All right. Okay, well, I think we're ready to move on to the next step.
Good, because I am sweating here. I got my flannel on, but it is hot out there today.
Do you mind scooting over a little here,
sure. You want to switch
please? Sure. Okay, so this card was inspired by like the New Yorker magazine illustrations. You know, when I was looking for cards, we were both looking, we wanted something that kind of had a vintage feel. So as you can see, these, the buildings are presents, which are super cute. And I think the easiest way to do it is the way I'm going to show you, which is actually really simple. So I took some cardstock paper. We always have so many scraps. I took some scraps of cardstock, and then I took, what you want to do is you want to take a gold paint pen. Now, if you don't have a gold paint pen, you could use whatever type of marker you have, and then start drawing different designs.
Can I do it like, because it's a little weird to look at it like.
Yeah, can you put it down? I can just maybe hold it. Is that better? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to start drawing different simple patterns. So they do not have to be perfect. They don't have to be evenly spaced. It's all going to look great as you go.
And this is what we're making to create our city skyline. And of course, this card can be customized for any city, any place, any skyline.
So I'm doing lines, I'm doing dots, let's see.
You did some stripes, you did some kind of like, just like line patterning.
Yeah, so really all you need is little scraps of cardstock. I'll do some more lines. These will be going horizontal when I cut them out. And this is just so it all looks like different color wrapping paper, which is so stinking cute. Now, if you have an abundance of paper at home and you want to use up all the paper you have, and let's say your paper is all patterned already, then totally use that patterned paper. Why not? Instead of dots, I'm going to just do little lines here.
Someone asked, what brand of paint pens do you recommend? You know, we actually like the Craftsmart brand.
I like the Craftsmart brand.
They're pretty inexpensive and they work really well. You can usually get 2 for under like $4. They also have a wide variety of different tips. So they have like colors, a really thin tip, a narrow tip, a fat tip, different colors. What else? They're usually found on the end caps, like at Michael's by the paint section. And my favorite thing is the smell. I love the smell.
Oh my gosh.
It's like feeling it. It's a Christmas gift to me.
You were one of those kids who smelled markers during class all the time, weren't you?
I still do.
Apparently. So really just get creative with how you want these to look. They're all gonna be cut up in different shapes and stuff, so you don't have to really worry, again, what it looks like. So now I'm gonna start cutting out these presents. Now, I really wanted to keep it nice and easy, so I just went with rectangles, and I'm gonna be using a pair of scissors. These are another pair of Renew scissors, which we love, and I'm just gonna start cutting them out. Now I'm doing what I thought looked like the Freedom Tower first. This one's gonna be a little different from what I did. But as you can see, this already just looks like a piece of patterned paper that you bought. How easy is that? I love that. Let's see. You know what I want? I want like a polka dot. Oh, I did a polka dot. My phone's weird. Oh. He's showing me pictures of what I did.
So
Isn't he such a nice part? That's so nice, because I know in my mind, I'm like, how did I do this? Because we did this about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Which I always say, what a great time to do holiday cards. The earlier, the better. Even now is a great time, because I feel like sometimes we put it off, and then we end up never doing anything with them. Now, if you wanted your pieces to be perfectly straight, you could totally use the Fiskars paper cutter like we did for the card itself. But I actually don't mind, just like the way this looks just as is. I don't know about you, but I think it's actually really cute. Thank you.
Yes, so cute.
A couple people are wondering if they can use leftover scraps of wrapping paper instead.
No,
no,
you may not. No, of course, I love that.
And if they are using pattern paper, should they cut the paper instead of drawing?
Do you know what that? Do you understand that question?
Yeah, like rather than drawing like little designs. Yeah, I think it's like.
Oh yes.
You know, you have total creative control here. I think, and again, it's like. For us, sometimes it's about using what you already have. And now they make such gorgeous wrapping paper. We actually went to Michael's today and we almost picked up 2 things of wrapping paper, even though we already have 3 things of wrapping paper in our closet. But I think it's, you know, just about kind of your vibe. You know, we kind of did this because we had a lot of scrap paper that we wanted to use up. But
yeah, I agree. I think definitely using what you have is the best thing you can do.
Yes, and I think so much of crafting is about your journey, your personal journey with it. We always kind of say that it's not about the end product, it's about the journey and kind of just kind of using your hands, getting creative, taking a moment to turn off from like the dreary horrors of the real world. So I think it's all about you know, it's very personal. Art is subjective and
I agree.
You know, you got to make it your own.
So what I did there, I wasn't liking the
You're a little
the pattern. Oh, thank you. Excuse me, everybody. I wasn't loving the pattern, so I just cut out my present first, and then I drew on the pattern. So you can kind of choose how you want that to be done for yourself. Let's see. I just want to make sure this is the right.
I would also love to hear in the chat if you've ever been to New York City during the holidays.
It's a great time to come.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday cheer style.
Style. All right. So,
oh, I love this. Lily said the journey embrace allows for greater creativity. I love that.
Oh, I like that too.
Yes, Jonathan has been here. Mrs. A said, sing.
Sing for me.
My aunt lives in New York. I couldn't believe how packed Times Square was when I visited. It's always packed.
Okay. So I have my two main buildings here, kind of like that. Can everybody see?
Yeah, you're still like in a little corner there. Yeah, there you go. And let's set it up nice here. Let me get the other Fiskars scissors.
Thank you, dear.
Put it right here.
Okay.
Do a little staging.
Well, I want some diagonal lines. So I'm going to try to cut these out as a diagonal. All right. So I'm almost done. I want to just make sure I have enough buildings.
Yes, a lot of people love New York, you know, and I feel like a lot of the holiday movies, it's always a big focus on Christmas in New York. So one of our favorites, obviously, is Home Alone. We actually are doing another Christmas card that's a Home Alone inspired Christmas card because we like to refer to ourselves as the Sticky Bandits.
That was a great Halloween costume we did a few
Yes.
years ago.
It really is very nice in the holidays. Everything's decorated. All of the lights are, you know,
lit up. Is that what you're
that's
going
right.
for?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I was watching what you were doing.
Okay, I mean, I think that looks pretty good. You're gonna see it all really come together. Now, what I'm going to do next is use the pen that is somewhere here. Here we go. And I'm going to draw little ribbons and bows. This is all, again, also very inspired by the New Yorker magazine. I was like, oh, I want it to really look like it's hand drawn. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to, do you want to hold this?
Sure. Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to, I like to start with the bow. And I do a really easy bow. I kind of start with a circle and then do two little triangles and then little
You
tails.
can't really see it, so.
Well, you can come a little closer.
Okay, I can try.
Yeah. And then I just do like the ribbon, which is just two intersecting lines. You see that? That's pretty easy to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it again. Here, I'll do the bow on the other side.
Okay, they can see, they can see.
And again, I'm not trying to make this look perfect. I'm going to do an intersecting line here. Why? I don't know.
And now if you're doing these cards in bulk, you know, you can just do a whole sheet of paper, cut out different squares, different patterns. You don't have to do one card at a time. We like kind of like a Santa's workshop vibe. So if we're doing a lot of these, we do one step, you know, multiple times. So I would have like cut all of my cards first. I would cut, you know, 24 cards, however many we're cutting, and do that all, you know, in one sitting.
Yeah, I think that's a really great tip because I feel like sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but if you do a little at a time and even just a little per day, if you're like, I'm going to do cut all the cards out tonight and then I'll focus on the buildings tomorrow. I think that's a great way to do it. Oops. Well, this one's going to be a little different. Why not? And I also was going to say, if you wanted to do this, you could do all of these and then you could scan them and then
okay,
yes,
print
them out. That way, you know, that way you don't have to kind of make as many, but it'll still look really, really nice. Now I'm even going to do these little ones. I'm just going to add a couple little bows on a few. I'll do this one right in the middle.
Also, if you have, you know, kids, like this is a great step too, to have them kind of just let them make different designs, different patterns on the paper, pop on, you know, a Christmas movie, give them some, you know, cardstock and paint markers and let them have at it.
Let them have at it. How cute is that? I think that looks pretty good, right? Okay.
Someone had mentioned FAO Schwartz. FAO Schwartz is closed, but they have brought back Toys R Us. And I think they're in any Macy's location, right?
I think so. Okay. But if you're like us, we like to get all our stuff at Michael's because I feel like
Well,
our
of
niece and
course.
nephew want to craft more than anything else.
I know.
Okay, so before I lose my spot here, because I feel like it is a lot of little pieces to keep track of, I'm going to start gluing them to the card. Now, I like to use this as a reference because I want to make sure all the buildings are lined up really nicely. I'm going to be using a glue stick for this, and I'm just going to, a good tip I like to do is use a scrap piece of paper to do all your gluing on. That way your edges and stuff can be totally glued, if that makes sense. You're not gluing right on your table. You know, what we could have used was a silicone mat from Fiskars, which we have.
Yeah,
but
I
I
do
just
typically use that.
I forgot. All right, so I'm going to
The cat is
start
probably
lining
sleeping
these up.
What is the pen brand name again? Craft Smart. I think that is kind of only like a Michael's brand. I think they're on the end caps. You can see them.
Okay, so I like to start with my biggest buildings first. I think it just kind of frames everything first. Also, those are the buildings that are probably going to be in the back. Let's see it as, can you see these? Dennis said when I did it the first time, he's like, they were a little
Yeah,
low.
too low.
Like, well,
It's like you hid all of the buildings.
what can I do?
But
What
you
can I
know,
do?
that's why each card is special.
That's right.
Because they're all a little
So
different.
you give the low one to someone you don't like as much as someone else.
Yeah, you're like, well, at least they got a card anyway.
Okay, now this one is the Empire State Building, or what I kind of claimed as the Empire State Building. So I wanted to do different layers.
In New York. That is, you know, we actually have a view of the skyline. So every now and then we can see the Empire State Building. And when it's lit up in the red and green, it's really just so magical.
There's something about Christmas in the city. You know, and I feel like Christmas in a lot of different cities. There's just something.
Yeah, they go all out. They go all out. We actually were in Philly.
I was going to say that. I needed one more little green, so I'm just going to use this. Yeah, we were in Philly last year, and it was magical in so many different ways than New York is, which I thought was so cool.
Yes, Carrie is on it. There was more card making classes this week. I saw a lot of cute trees, MIC lumberjacks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Recording of it in a day or two. Yes.
I'm really going to press these down because I really want them to stay.
And now, do you want to show you're doing this on the top of the card?
Yes. Right? Yep.
Yeah, so it's right on the top of
right on the top of the card. Okay. My last one for this building. Now, does anyone like to craft and watch movies, or how do you like to craft? We always like to have something on, whether it's holiday music or movies.
And we do that not only just for Christmas, we also do it for other holidays. So we have like a Halloween playlist. So we'll have like Halloween music, or we'll have, you know, Halloween films on. And they're usually the ones that we kind of already really know, we're very familiar with. So we're not like kind of paying attention. What is this little deer? That looks really great.
You know, I'm also like not too worried about if they are
watch TV and or listen to the radio, music, listen to music from seasonal favorites. Yes, crafting while watching for actually just listening to movies. Yes. If your circle is wonky, okay, we got a crafty tip here. If your circle is a little wonky, you can glue a piece of fabric trim like a gold cord around the edge as a cover up.
That's a great
Yes,
tip.
I love that.
They're calling your circle wonky, Dennis, and I have to say,
is that what they're doing?
Can't blame them.
I got nervous.
I know.
All right?
It's really hard to craft in front of
I'm
people.
sweating during Christmas. I should be wearing layers.
Okay, so I'm just adding my last couple of.
Yeah, Seth likes Dave Matthews Throwback or fast-paced punk music. Hey guys, wonky works. It's unique. Don't change.
I love that.
Don't go change.
You know what? I did actually just have to change my glue stick. I feel like this one might be a little dried out. It's not sticking as well. Okay. I should check again. That's a good tip. Check again.
Yeah, keep checking. Make sure your city is
pretty good. Even if you just have a little corner, it really does.
That's okay.
Go a long way.
Because, you know, we barely have windows in New York, so it really mimics kind of living in New York, not being able to see out of a window.
I'm gonna do this one here.
Like, I think there's life out there. I don't know.
I've never seen it. Okay. Look how cute that is.
Adorable.
I mean, that's really cute. Yes, these are covered, but I feel like they should be.
No, that's really cute.
Like that is adorable.
All right, now let's move on here. The wonkier, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the wonkiness is very charming. Very charming. It's like stacked presents that are too big. Okay. I'm just going to take a second to clean this up. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the drama.
There's drama?
Well, we always like love and positivity in our craft classes. I don't know what happened in other ones. But,
yeah.
you know, sometimes, you know, unless they're paying your bills, pay those people no mind. Because they want that. They want that rise, you know? Okay, well, now we're going to move on. We're going to start creating the shaker part of the card. So we're using acetate sheets, clear acetate sheets. It's basically like a plastic film.
Velum
clear.
Is what we call
so usually you can use also like shrinky dink paper. They have like clear shrinky dink paper or frosting. Or if you buy card packs, like this little vellum piece came with the Cricut Joy card pack. And we just thought it was utterly charming because it had a little pattern on there. So that comes in with the pack. So that way you can kind of buy those, even though they're made for the Cricut, they don't have to be. You know, you can use it for your own.
And those were scraps we just had.
Yeah, those are scraps that we just had.
Yes.
So here's our little card. So now I'm going to cut my acetate. Do we want to use the Cricut Joy one or just use the...
Or we could just use this.
Yeah, let's, because then we'll really see the shaker part. So I'm going to take my little clear piece and I'm going to cut it down. Again, I'm using the Fiskars cutter here, one of our favorites. I love this because it has a little leg. We live in a small one-bedroom apartment, so we don't have a lot of room. So any of our craft supplies, we also have a mat from Fiskars that we use all the time that folds up. That is really helpful in our small space here. And I'm going to be cutting these about 5 by about 3.5. You want it a little smaller than your face, your colored face here.
And we can check that. We'll see if that's a good size.
Yeah, so what is the thing? Where is the 5?
I would go just a little over 5, like 5 and a...
Little over 5?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna use this as a guide here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so 5, and then about like 3 and change.
I would just do them both the same, I guess.
What do you mean? Wait, we aren't using this.
Right. Sorry, I meant like the 2 that you're cutting, because you're cutting 2, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm cutting 2 pieces. Let me see this.
Now, what he's using as a guide is the same size as this. I think that would be a little more clear, because you want it to be about the same.
Clear, get it? Clear. Okay.
Is it necessary to do with clear paper?
I'm going to do 3.5. You know, it is kind of necessary in a sense. Oh, sorry.
I can't see it.
You know, you do kind of have to have something blocking. I've seen people do this with like takeout containers or any type of, you know, clear plastic, because we want to keep our snow in our shaker card when we shake.
So I guess the question is, if you want it to have a shaker, if you want it to be an actual shaker card, you do need it to be, you do need the plastic. But if you don't want it, which it would look so cute without it, you don't need it.
Right. Sarah does not have plastic. Do you have like a little
I think you could just
saran wrap?
this. Oh, I don't know if saran wrap.
Saran wrap?
Saran wrap. It could work. But I think if you don't have the plastic, you could skip this step altogether, and it just won't be a shaker card. It will just be a beautiful multi-layered card.
Okay, so I have my 2 pieces of clear little plastic film here.
Okay, great.
Okay, and now, oh, Ziploc bag. I love that.
That's a great idea. Okay, and now we're going to.
Or yes, or someone said like an envelope. Yes, vellum would work. We actually bought this morning. We were looking for shrinking paper.
I guess keep
But we found this one.
Yeah.
This side is the front.
Or no, I guess that's the back. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna start by taping. I'm using double-sided tape. You can use glue or whatever you have in your home. I'm gonna be using double-sided tape, and I'm gonna be taping my clear acetate or shrinky-dink paper to the top of my buildings here. And then I'm gonna do it to my globe surface here.
Now, I will say that this is something we learned as we went. This was our first shaker card we had made, and I'm glad we made it so early in advance because we had a lot of tips that we've been incorporating in this class. Now, when we made our original shaker card, this one, we did not add any of the vellum to in front of the buildings. And what happens is, if you skip this step, what happens is that a lot of the confetti gets caught in the pieces in the buildings. So it doesn't shake as well. So adding this vellum is going to help all the confetti kind of move around so you really get that like cool effect.
Yes, what he said. And essentially I'm creating like a little box around the piece of acetate here because I want to keep it in
yeah, you want it to stay down and you want everything to kind of stay in.
Yes, and I actually had to rip my piece of double-sided tape in half just because I don't want it on the side of the card or anything like that. I want it to kind of be
You don't want it to be visible.
There you go. Okay, I guess that's good enough.
Sure, you want to cut those edges down?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the edges, so I just have a little overspill here on my tape. And now I'm just gonna cover my buildings here, or actually I'm gonna start, or here, I'll just do it, because I don't wanna, right there?
Yeah. That looks great.
Oh, that was stressful. Very nice. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the same thing on the back of my card.
Yep.
Here, right? Yes, with the plastic. I was like, wait a second, what are the steps here? And now if we're going too fast or you have questions, let us know. We will not be able to answer them. No, I'm just kidding.
Should we say, let us know?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. And this one I'm doing on the edge of my globe here, and then I'm just going to take down my paper. Kind of, you could cut off any excess if you have to, because I did mine messy, because I'm, of course, on camera, so it, of course, it can't go right, you know. Awesome, so now we have our cards here with both the little acetate or the vellum on the cards, and now it is time to build, or I guess we'll start with the snow.
I was gonna say, I think now I'm going to build the front.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Because I need a break. That was stressful.
It really isn't that stressful. It's really, you just need a piece of vellum on this side and a piece of vellum on this. So Easy breezy. So now I'm going to make the bottom of the snow globe, the base of the snow globe.
Oh yes, Joanne said, sorry, I'm just, as you're doing this, I'm gonna catch up on comments, but go ahead.
Okay. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to just reference it. You could absolutely draw it, but I'm not going to do that. And it's basically just a rectangle that I'm going to then kind of shape a little bit. Like I'm going to make the base just a little bit on the bottom, a little bit wider. But you could just use a rectangle. That would be 100% fine. Sorry, do you have any questions you wanted to say?
No, but someone had mentioned the Fiskars Teflon scissors making cutting sticky stuff like tape much easier. Yes, they do. We actually have a pair somewhere. Are there any of the Fiskars scissors with the black blades are sticky resistant?
Yes, I love those. I love those.
So those are great for cutting any kind of sticky stuff, paper, double-sided tape, any of that. It works really well. Aaron saves all types of packaging materials. It's surprising how many products come in plastic that can be used for crafting, including shaker cards. Yes, I love that. Office supply stores sell acetates in boxes of lots or by the sheet at the, yes,
I'm just adding a little gold trim. I just thought it would make it really pop. And it would also tie in the buildings as well.
Love that. Yes, we save a lot of our packaging too. Different boxes, different packaging, envelopes, because well, besides the fact that we're hoarders, we we do use a lot of cardboard and things like that in our crafting.
I don't know. I feel like if you're
and when you go to buy like a box or cardboard, it's expensive.
I know.
It is ridiculous. So we always like to hold on to those as long as we can. Whether the cat uses it or we use it, we usually get good use out of it.
Can you be a crafter and not be a hoarder in some sense?
I don't know. That should be a meme right there.
Because I feel like every time when you're crafting, it's like you think of these things. You're like, oh, I could use whatever, the box that the stuff came in. And then if you end up recycling it 2 days later, you need it for a craft. All right. So what I did earlier was I printed out Season's Greetings from NYC. Now I just went and I chose different fonts that I liked, and that's what I'm using. I also did it in different sizes. I think this is a great way when you are trying to put a greeting on a card to just kind of have slightly different sizes just so you know what you want and you don't have to print things out 900 times. Now I'm taking the Renew scissors and I'm just going to be cutting out a banner. What I'm going to do is take this. Now, if you wanted it perfect, you could easily
use the paper cutter.
And then I'm just going to...
Someone asked, how do you get the symmetrical curves lines and keep lines on squares, rectangles, parallel, and straight? Mine are lopsided.
Huh. I actually, I'm not sure what that... Sorry, is that about...
I guess the buildings possibly, or...
You know, mine aren't really that straight, right?
Yeah, yours aren't either.
Mine are pretty all over the place, but I really like the look of it.
Yeah, see, these are a little slightly curved and bent, and you can't really tell.
I do think, oh, your curved blue base.
Oh.
Wait, can you read the question again for me? Sorry, I was...
How do you get the symmetrical curves, lines, and keep lines on squares, rectangles, parallel, and straight?
You know, I think by starting with a rectangle and then adding any type of dimension, like a little swoopy swoop, little things.
Or again, use what you have. Use what you have in your home to use as tools. So you could have used the same little lid there to kind of get mimic the same shape, and then he just went a little further. You know, it's like all about kind of just using what you got to make it work, you know?
Now for these, we're going to be using... What we're going to be using in a minute, we're going to be using this, this is like double-sided foam tape. Is that what you would call it? So we have some already cut. Actually, we need a little bit for the Season's Greetings. If you want to do that for me, please.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut this down a little.
Great. and I'm just putting it here. This just adds a little bit of dimension. If you do not have this, you don't have to go run out and buy it. You could totally use a glue stick for this, but it does just make it pop just a little bit. So I'm going to add my From New York. I have to cut this because it's bothering me. And again, I'm going for a really handmade look, so I'm not too worried about if my things look crooked or not. Just because I feel like this card has so much going on that all those little things that might bother you or might bother me as I make it, they don't really read in the end. Thank you. So Dennis just kind of did the same on this. And then, guess what? I'm going to cover up this little spot that.
Oh,
wonderful.
How dare you?
Isn't that wonderful?
I'll never forgive you for this.
What?
Or use a puffy dot. I love that.
A puffy dot? Oh my gosh. All right, so this is all ready to assemble for our final steps of this card. Now I'm going
Yes, we're almost there. Don't forget, we're going to be doing an epic giveaway. Do you want to explain what the giveaway is going to be while we kind of keep going here?
Sure. Do you want to explain how we do this next step?
Okay, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the double-sided mounting tape on the back of the card, just along the perimeter here. And I'm going to make sure that there's no holes there, because if you have holes, your shaker card is going to be spilling all over the place.
So the mounting tape is what is going to hold. It's going to be basically a barrier for all of the confetti, for all of the snow.
Yes, and this, I was able to make it work, designers. But if you have not enough space there, just cut your mounting tape in half. And actually, typically I would do that just to make the most out of it because I don't like spending a lot of money. So I would typically cut these like in half and just kind of build it up that way. But for now, and since it's working and we're kind of getting close to our time here, I'm just gonna kind of do it along the edge of the card.
And again, this is for a border, so all of our snow stays in place. Now, we know that this is a very time-consuming card with a lot of steps, so I would be very surprised if a lot of people will do 30 of these a year. But if you want a very special card for a certain person, or even if you want to, I would even do this and have it out as just a decoration. I mean, it's so cute as it is. How cute would it be to do different cards of different places, like for the Christmas tree?
He's decorating the tree now.
I love that. Or, I mean, this is great for any holiday around this time of year. It does not have to be holiday or Christmas related. You could easily do Hanukkah. Just by switching out the wrapping paper, or any holiday. Really, it could be a birthday. You could do this for a birthday. Look at me.
Someone is wondering if the season's greeting part is just printed on regular like printer paper.
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you. Yep, that was just printer paper. I could have gone and got printed it in cardstock, but I actually thought the printer paper, I thought the printer paper looked just fine. Of course, our cat sat on it right before our class started, so it's all wrinkly, but printer paper, I think, works just great.
Yes, and of course, I know a lot of people are crafting along today. Carrie just mentioned if you want to use the hashtag Make It With Michaels, or tag us, tag Michaels, tag Fiskars. We always love to see your creations. We did a pumpkin class last month, and someone just sent their pumpkin project today. And when we see your crafts, especially if they're inspired by ours, it makes our day. It makes our day. So be sure to share. So now to make our little snow confetti, we're actually using the Fiskars confetti punches. This comes in a kit. They also have an additional punch that we don't have here today, but
it's a heart shape.
Oh, it's a heart shape, so that didn't really go with the Christmas vibe. And you can even kind of cater it to your own style. So I think we took out some of the bigger pieces because we thought they were just too big.
Too big for this size.
Yeah, so you just want to cut and gather your little confetti here.
Can I show a tip on just like how to get the most out of your cardstock when you're using these punches? Like, as you can see, we like to go around the edges. We'll even go around here, and then we take a pair of scissors, cut these off, and then we can continue to do so. Because sometimes you're left with like these awkward spaces that you can't get to. So just cut them away. And this is a really great step if you have kids to get them to do it. We love these punches for festive table scatter.
I was going to say, we use this for table scatter.
Yes.
Like if we have a party or something, we just want to take our table to the next level, we'll just add, were we using stars? Why do I have stars?
I guess we were using it for a Halloween thing we did. So there's orange stars in there, but we did use some stars.
Okay. So, but yes, we'll add this for decorations. Sometimes we do little party gift bags, or when we send mail, like we'll put this in for like a little confetti bomb. And it's really fun and really cute. Yeah, just kind of takes it.
Or yeah, you can do those stars.
To the next level, level up.
Okay, Dennis told me I should talk about the giveaway a couple minutes ago. So the giveaway is going to be, we're going to be giving away 5 different big bundles. Now, these are all sewing related, and we realize that this class isn't sewing specific, but these are these bundles that Fiskars they've created, and we just couldn't say no to them. So you will be getting a pair of Renew scissors and then a handful of other awesome sewing related
craft. They have like the rotary cutter in there.
You know, if you're not a sewer, you might be thinking, why do I want that? Well, because it would be a great holiday gift for someone.
You know, and it's free.
And
so
free.
All you got to do, we're going to ask a question at the end of the class.
Yes.
And then we ask that you DM us your answers, whether it be on social media, or you can email your answers to us at craftylumberjacks@gmail.com. You don't have to worry about being on a list or anything like that. It just goes to us.
Yes.
What was I going to say? And then we will notify you if you win. We'll only reach out again if you win to ask for your address.
And we can only, I'm so sorry if you're watching from Canada or somewhere else, we can only send to the US. Sorry about that.
Yes, and it's only offered for today's class, only the participants here in today's class. We also have a little cat hair here in the tape.
Oh, that's
a little special surprise.
I love
So now I'm just going to gather my confetti on the center of the card here. I'm just going to put it on the table and kind of push it on the edge here.
He's on the edge of glory.
And just kind of flatten it out. And then, and right in the center there. And now I'm just going to peel off my backing here of the double-sided mounting tape. And pray. Pray we'll have a Christmas miracle.
Could you use glitter? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, that would be awesome. Why didn't we think of that? Where were you 2 months ago?
Glitter would be really cute, especially if it was like a nice chunky glitter.
Okay, so now it's very sticky, so I'm going to do my best to kind of stick it in the right spot. I got to stand up for this.
Oh, yeah.
Clear. Okay, and I'm just going to stick my little card there.
I will say the nature with these cards is that the edges of your tape are going to kind of get some of that confetti in it. So a great tip is to just do more confetti than you think you need.
Yeah, so I only did a little because we're running out of time.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, look at that shaker card. How cute is that?
You see it?
Yes, that's adorable.
So cute.
You know, I think the shaker aspect of this card is so cute, but I really don't think the card needs it. So again, if you don't have Velum, or if you don't have acetate, or, you know, you don't have to do that step. You could easily just have it just as is without.
Yeah, just a little snow globe without it snowing.
Or you could do kind of what mimicked this.
Then you just sign the back. Yeah, of course. And then you can kind of do whatever you want in the card.
Yes.
That's for you to decide, you to write. We like to print out. We're old school, so we like clip art. We like to type things out and then just cut it and glue it in. So we're done.
Yes.
Also, then, you know, we have not the greatest penmanship. So that is kind of how we roll. But yeah, you can make it your own, or you can make like sticker paper. I think works really well. You can print right directly.
Or just make something handmade.
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes we'll even do like a little card insert. So we'll cut here. I'm just going to show like cutting like a little piece here. Like we'll do this just to level it up again. I would use
the Fiskars paper cutter for that step.
Well, yeah, so I'm just doing quick, kind of put that in there and then do like a little season screen.
Yeah, that's so cute.
From the Crafty Lumberjack.
All right, I guess we can switch over to the other camera. It's almost that time.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh, thank you all so much. This is us. Oh my gosh, I'm I'm schwitzing. I need my powder.
That's because it's so hot outside today. We got to turn on the air conditioning. That's something I didn't think I would say.
But how adorable. We hope you join us for our next class. Again, we're going to be using the Fiskars box maker to make this little snowman gift holder. So they're little boxes. So you can put money in here. You can put candies, goodies, whatever you want, gift cards.
You can give me money. You can give me money, okay?
I like that cash.
Okay, so are we ready for the giveaway?
Yes, we're ready for the giveaway. So again, DM us your answers, Crafty Lumberjacks, across social media, or you can email your answers, craftylumberjacks@gmail.com. Special shout out to Michaels and to Fiskars for having us.
Yes. Okay. Now for the question is, and I will remind you, you are more than welcome to Google this to find it. It's not about what you know. It's just about entering. The question is, what year did the first commercial Christmas card come out? Again, that's what year did the first commercial Christmas card come out? Now, I'll be honest, if you Google something, it's not even the right answer because sometimes, you know,
right. It tells you different things.
You'll be entered. It's all about just kind of reaching out. Please follow us on social media too, because we have a lot of stuff coming up and we would love to share that with you. Again, Crafty Lumberjacks.
Yeah, and thank you again. We hope to see you on December 6th for our next class. Enjoy your 12 days of card making.
And if you make one, please, like, let us know, tag Michael's, tag Fiskars, and you go over all this. Oh
yes, it's hard to say goodbye.
I know.
Thank you all so much. Happy holidays.
Bye.